We're live? Yeah, we're live now. Khan, shalom, shalom. First say, Kah halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakah Kadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. Brothers from London here with New Year's Eve of destruction, bring out some scriptures, obviously, foretelling the impending doom that's coming upon this world, and at the same time, the salvation that's coming to the elect. So we'll kick it off like a ball. Unless you brothers had anything you wanted to say.
Nah, not specifically. Must crack on.
All right, Jeremiah 16. Let's kick it. Let's kick it off like a ball, man.
Jeremiah 16:1. The word of the Lord Yahweh came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried.
Now stop there. There's gonna come a time when the scriptures speak about in more places, man, where the stink shall rise up, where the dead bodies, shall basically just be in the streets, man, be left and not lamented for. And if you think about it, that's a very serious time, because any outside of maybe World War II, you hear instances of people go into villages and smelling the smell of death. But outside of that, if generally speaking, in the West, especially in the Western world, most people have never even smelled death before. Most, I'm not saying everyone, so don't start crying on the comment board. I'm talking about most people have never smelled death. Most people only see a dead body on TV or at a funeral. It's rare that you're just going to be in London and you're just going to walk and there's a body decomposing on the floor. Like, how often does that happen? Not, because usually when someone dies, there's a whole mechanism that's set up to deal with that quick. Ambulance will just come, clean, get that body, take it to the mortuary, slap it on ice. Then everyone will go and go to co-op or go over to the funeral services, so I'll make the preparations. And with 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time or whatever, there'll be a funeral, beer barling. Man, I'll be up in the funeral singing, singing the same set of flows, singing the same hymns. Then man go to the graveyard and sing the by and by, the sweet by and by.
Or the flowers down.
Yeah, lower man down in the dirt. And yeah, that's in this situation. But even here in the West, as unthinkable as it is, even here in the West, there's gonna come a point where there's gonna be so much death that whole mechanism of dealing with death is going to be overwhelmed and non-functional. So you're going to have dead, that's in Second Esdras as well, I believe, as well, isn't it? Second Esdras. You're going to have a situation where it's going to not only be dead bodies lying in the street or lying in their house. They show you that, and you know what good example of that is these zombie films, which the zombies just represent desperate and hungry people. These zombie films, like 28 days later, man went to his parents' house and his parents was there, like dead in the bed, decomposed. Or there's bear films like that. The man will go into the house and the people are dead sitting in the chair. You know what I'm saying? Because there's death, and usually if someone's died in their house, they get found, body gets taken real quick. People will find out that they're dead.
To prevent disease and all these kind of
which
another thing is gonna exponentiate the death rate.
Yeah, the disease. But there's gonna come a point where there's gonna be so much judgment and death out here. There's gonna be no one there to clean these people up, and on top of that, there ain't gonna be no funerals. The man ain't got time for funeral. You can only have funeral in peace. In a time of great tribulation, ain't no funeral, man. There's a saying where drop it, stop. That's how it's gonna be. You not in Second Esdras, or
I didn't. I'm not. That when we come up Second Esdras.
Yeah, it should say Have you got second Esdras? It's in the 16th chapter.
70, yeah, I think. Is it that one?
Yeah,
Around 70, 20.
16th chapter,
yeah, the 16th chapter. And from there we go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second Esdras chapter 16, and I'm gonna skip from verse 22 here. Right? So, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine.
Famine, food, lack of food. So we know that's coming down the pipeline. And that's modern day prophecy. Now, you had this guy, Nate, he tried to make mockery of the prophets because we always talk about these things, you know, martial law, Jacob's trouble, famine that's coming down the pipeline, which seems almost impossible to someone living in the West. Because while you might not be yamming steak, you know what I mean? Like the other day, I was looking up Christina's Steakhouse and it was like £38 for a fucking ribeye or some shit. Like, what that, man? Can't. Let me find something else. You get me? So you might not be able to go to Salt Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And drop off the salt and eat the the big boy tomahawk, right? But you ain't hurting for food though. The reality is that if you're in the West, most people are not in the position to starve because you can go to food banks, you can go to Tesco. You don't have to get the Heinz beans that cost £1.50 a tin or whatever. You could get the Asda price beans. You know, you could get a bag of rice and just yam rice, but you know what I mean, and survive.
Beans,
You know, some beans or whatever. All right, it's you could go buy chicken foot by the bag. If you and you know that's how you know man ain't hurting because I bet you probably even know they sold chicken foot.
I didn't know.
You could buy chicken, you could go buy chicken foot, right? And eat chicken foot and rice. So ain't no one really starving to death. You don't really hear people starving to death in the West because the West has an abundance of food that even the poor man can be obese. Even the poor man can get his calorie all the way up there, man. But there's going to come a time when people are actually going to die from the lack of food. But Nate said, if we even thought that was going to happen, we'd have a plan of action. Showing you Nate ain't really dealing with the prophecies, man.
As many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Sword, that represents the killing instrument. Blunt objects, sharp objects, rifle, shotgun, all of that. You know?
And the dead shall be cast out as dung.
Well, the dead is cast out as dung through tribulation. Because right now, what does it mean cast out as dung? When you just dash your body. Listen, someone's dead in the yard. Man can't have them in the yard. You just dash them outside. Like how dung is shit. How do you dispose of? You don't dispose of feces like how you dispose of a body. When a man is disposing of a body, they take care, clean the body up and prepare it and dig a specific hole. You know what I mean? And buy an expensive. Them coffins are expensive, because I had to. Even the headstones. Ain't cheap, but headstones costing you like basic headstone £500, and then you see these people with these nice ones. You're talking about because I had to look it up for my aunt. Like you have to look. You're talking about 1,500 minimum. Then you getting higher the more So there's some of these people when they're getting buried. There's a lot of money and expense and time and expertise going into. Their situation. You don't do that for dung. When he says dash where man like dung, meaning man just carry the body and dash where that one side. And that's gonna happen. Man ain't got time for all that dressing and cleaning up. Where you sink, you stink, you know what I mean?
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them.
No man to comfort them. No, there's gonna be no one there dressing you, feeling sorry for you, wiping your body down. You know what I'm saying? Dressing you up nice, fixing your wounds. Because nowadays man can get the grievous death, and then man will fix man up as best they can, and even try and give you an open casket. As long as you didn't get them super Benjamin 50 shot in the face type deaths. You can even get shot one bullet in the face. They'll fix up the face as much as possible. Put the putty in man's face and in the hole and all that stuff. And then you see grandma coming up or your mother coming up. Oh, my baby. Beer balling. All that. You know what I'm saying? They comfort you. That's not going to happen, man. You know, in the time to come. And that's how you know. You get people that used to ask, when do you know it's Jacob's trouble? That's how you know. When man, that's where you see dead bodies out.
You don't need to be told.
You won't need to be told because that the thing that now, man.
Yeah.
It's X-rated. It's crazy.
You don't know you're in the time of peril. Like, time of trouble.
You're coming at Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
For the earth shall be wasted and the cities shall be cast down.
How does the city? Right now, I mean, we could talk shit about the cities, but the cities are mainly operational, man. London is operational. It's still operating. Even when you had the C9, you know what? London was fine. You still got the same restaurants, pretty much. Same nice areas were still nice. But you see, when all hell breaks loose, it's going to descend into chaos, death, destruction, fire, burning. The essence of fear, real fear and danger or lack of safety is going to consume these cities. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's going to be madness in these cities. They're going to be cast down, just stinking. And I mean, real stench. You know, London stinks. Yeah, but, you know, it doesn't really. I'm talking about real stink. You know, like when you smell a dead rat. Because in the smell of death, it's absolutely disgusting. You listen to them old videos with them World War II vets. What they talk about that. They might have gone up into a French village and there's dead horses and dead people everywhere. And they said the one thing they'll always remember is the smell, the death that was in the air. Just can't get away from it.
It should go still worse than Becton, man.
It's a roundabout.
Becton, crazy.
But it's gonna be one of those unforgettable smells that you know what that smells. They know what Becton smells. They know what's going on over there. But it's like when they smell dead bodies, corpses. Yeah, it's a different smell,
and it don't take long. Yeah. Hey, that's why they said to Yahweh Shai, he's thinking.
Yeah.
So it don't take long for it. That's why now, like I said, when people die, they get dealt with quick. People normally don't lay around dead for too long before they get cleaned up and taken and put on ice and embalmed and all that stuff. And especially in the heat, if it's like warm, hey, bodies start stinking quick. That's why they used to bury body before they started having the mortuaries. I was watching something on that. Bodies are like in the islands. You go back to the Caribbean, when someone died, they got buried that day. Because that Caribbean heat, you can't be holding man like put him in his bedroom. You know what I mean? And then it's like, maybe if you're in Alaska and it's like below 40 degrees or something, you could just keep the window open or something, and man would just be there refrigerated like some sausages or some shit. But if you're in the Caribbean, Nigeria, and them places, I'm pretty sure that when people died, they didn't wait like fucking 2 weeks.
Well, it's like meat, innit? You buy fresh meat, you know, you put it in the fridge to slow down, you know, the deterioration rate, right? But you put it out in the warm.
On a hot summer's day, boy.
It won't be used by a day. It'll be gone.
Well, even in the summer, that's when you get the mad bin smells. Your bin stinks in the summer, and it's heavy. That's the leftovers. It's leftovers, and then there's maggots crawling up the bin. Because of the heat, it decomposes things that faster, man. So it's even worse if all hell breaks loose and it's warm. Hey, yo. Quick stench.
Yeah, we live in hot states or whatever. Yeah, nasty. Verse 24 says, "There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?"
So all these scriptures here represent a massive depopulation. It's not like everyone's going to die, but the depopulation is going to be very significant. Billions of people are going to be destroyed. So all this consumption that happens right now is not going to be happening no more, because the consumption happens when people are alive to consume. You know?
Yep. So the tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. That's
right. That speaks for itself. All places are going to be desolate of men. Go on.
So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2.
And it doesn't mean literally 10. It just means it's just representing compared to the, like, for instance, if you look at London, right? London's got 11, or what is it? Is 8?
It might have gone up. Because I remember it's the same as New York. Around the same.
I've got the euro. Okay, 8.8.
Yeah.
That was in 2022, so it's probably more than that now.
10 now.
But yeah. So that's a lot of people. So if you even drop that down to 500,000 or something, that's a crazy reduction.
Yeah.
You'd be going through London trying to find someone if there's only 500,000 people there.
It's like a pandemic London when it was empty on the streets.
Yeah, like, you'd be struggling. Like, all these Elamites, and they'd be like 10 in a yard, just get rid of them. They'd be stinking anyway.
Like the city's overpopulated right now. So like, you know, everyone's just, you know, like in a sardine can, right?
Yeah.
But after that reduction, it's like you're gonna have all this.
You have a seat on the train. Imagine that. Get a council flat quick.
Yeah. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rock, as in an orchard of olives. Upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or when as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the.
So basically, it's going to be a remnant of the people left after the Lord brings this great judgment in the earth that's coming down the pipeline. And if you're not of the elect, this is the key. If you're not covered under the blood of Yahushua, if you're not covered by Yahushua, if Yahushua does not make intercession unto you as an Israelite, then you're going to be part of the people that's going to be destroyed 100%. And there's nothing you can do to get around that. There's no money you can have. There's no fame you can have. The clout is the big thing now. Or your stream, you got bare likes on the stream. Get the likes up. Hit the like button. Like and subscribe. That ain't going to save you.
Yeah, subscribe by the way.
Hit the subscribe button and all this business. That's what them man are living and dying by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Yo, man, there's 4,000 of you in here. There's only 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, them man are living and dying by that subscribe button.
Start with the algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm. Yeah. Man, support it. Yeah. So all that business there, none of that. Your money, your links, your family name, none of that stuff is gonna matter in this time of judgment that's coming. The second death that's coming down the pipeline, man.
Yeah. This next one here is a hard hitter still, right? So verse 31. So even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. So not only the food situation, you got people running up in the houses taking life.
No, people are going to take matters into their own hands, man, because it's going to be risky roads out here, man. People are going to be in survival mode. You're going to get groups of men that are just going to be out here, and the way they're surviving is just moving around, avoiding the government, and robbing and killing. But there's people robbing and killing now, but they're going to feel even more emboldened to do that because
there's no system, there's no. Like I said, it's not the mechanism is not working.
The seditious people, there's going to be people that say, F the government, we're doing our own thing.
And go on to themselves.
Yeah.
Like you got the overcrowded prisons. A lot of people got released a couple months ago. A lot of those people,
all them, man, you know. But the thing is, the common man is crazy.
That's it.
The common, you don't know how crazy a man is until you put him in a situation to show you. There's man out there that's ready to flip. If they can't eat, they'll show you a different side. They ain't showing you that side right now because they got food. They got.
What the Joker said in the
but he was right. He was absolutely right, man. You got people that's calm and cool, because they got their belly full. Oh, I would never do that. I would never do it. You know, I'm a civilized. Yeah, you're civilized until you don't know where your next meal is. Then all of a sudden,
you're civilized in when things are simple. When it's trying to fit,
when it's working for you. And then all of a sudden, you're ready to kill toddlers to get what's up in the streets of New York, to take what's mine. Yeah, man. Go on, man. Oh, man.
And verse 32, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through.
Right, that's represents depopulation. They show you that in these futuristic film, post-apocalyptic, where if you don't maintain roads and pathways, what happens is nature, it's called serial succession, will just break down and return it back to whatever it was meant to be. Whether it's a meadow or a forest or whatever the case may be, it will just go back to what the proper habitat should be.
Well, look at all the Aztec pyramids, you know, we want to call them that, like gone
in the jungle.
Yeah, and you can still find them, like they're walking on top of them, and like, oh shit, they found one recently.
They got devoured because once man are not there to maintain and cut back the grass. You know what I mean? That's it. And that just shows you it's not a long time. It shows you how quick it can happen too. And the jungle grows rapidly. So if you don't, so unlike America's not going to regrow, but you got all these other places in the earth. There are a lot of those places, man. Like when they even go back to them, they're not going back to no cities. They're just going back to land.
Yeah.
Because the cities are going to be consumed and destroyed by the missiles and the chariot fire and all that stuff. Because the chariots are going to get busy too.
It's funny, they showed a place in Ethiopia where they had issues with the desert, but I think it was because there was too much people in the area. So they left it ungrown for a year and a half, 18 months or something. Then basically naturally had a waterfall develop where it was a stream of water. I believe it, what do you call it? It's a stream. It was just basically a stream of water coming from the mountain. So it shows you that the paradise that awaits when these get back. So
when the earth will heal itself, innit?
Yeah.
And go back to what's it called? Original settings. Just given enough time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what's gonna happen.
Well, just like everything else, like, you know, even with design to self-heal and stuff like that, things, you know, go back to former settings or whatever. And the earth is meant to do it. That's why all this green, you know, global warming talk, like, oh, you must do something. The earth is made to manage itself.
So, yeah.
You know, yes, we impact how the earth does things and whatever, but it manages itself.
It's Sabbath,
you know,
the land Sabbath, right? You just need to leave the land to itself.
That's what it does. That's what it's supposed to. It's made to do that, right? And if you got to send in a hurricane to destroy something, it wouldn't do that.
But even forest fire, forest fire is the natural part of the health of a forest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a disaster; it's actually natural to happen.
Mm-hmm.
To cleanse the dead wood and all that stuff. There's certain plants that don't grow unless there's a fire to cleanse the place, isn't it? I'm glad you mentioned the carbon, because going into the MOTB, we always speak about the MOTB system. The carbon credits. I'm trying to load it up here, but you see, I've noticed Twitter be acting funny sometimes. They're trying to load things up. It ain't loading. I don't know if it's my phone or whether it's Twitter, but sometimes it just be spooky when I'm trying to load things up. It's just not loading things properly. I have to close it all out. But recently they just finished the test in the UK for giving people carbon rationing, which we told you that was there we go. It says the UK has recently completed a carbon credit trial that sets a daily amount for each person. Your daily carbon limit is capped at 40 kilograms of CO2. A packet of cheese accounts for 1.1 kilograms of CO2. Here's where things get terrifying. And I'm going to do a video on it, but we already told you that the whole thing around carbon credits is about controlling life. This is carbon is the element of life. We're known as carbon-based life forms, and most of what we do involves carbon in some way. Like if you're exerting energy, you're using something that's within the carbon cycle. Inevitably, even breathing, respiration produces carbon dioxide. So you cannot avoid carbon. So if you're gonna try and control, carbon, you're controlling every form of human activity, because it doesn't matter what you do, there's a carbon footprint. There has to be.
That sounds like in time now, because you're breathing up carbon.
Even your breathing is carbon.
You're only allowed so many breaths in a day.
But that's why they also have the Fitbit. And all them things control your sleep, because when you're controlling carbon, you're controlling everything. But at the end of the day, the Lord set up a balance of carbon. The more carbon dioxide you have, the more plants can consume it and grow. But Esau took the science out. He said, carbon's bad. So we need to control it.
Yeah.
So that
raise up and reduce it. It needs to be reduced.
Yeah.
But like the elites, they don't have to reduce nothing because they can afford to offset.
They're gonna. They say about communism that everybody's equal. There's just some people are more equal than others, and that's how it's gonna be. The elites will have the master code that gives them access to all the resources, but you will be on the rationing, and they'll tell you it's for your own good, and it was the way we had to save the planet because of all the overconsumption that they have set up. They set up the system of the capitalistic system of overconsumption, of feeding you products that you don't need. They set that up. Mass production. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they set that system up, but now their solution for it is to take away all of your rights and all of your choices and your freedoms. So instead of having all them Nikes you're gonna get one pair of trainers for 2 years or something. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be living like Star Trek, where everyone's wearing basically the same garment.
Yeah, beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Why they're keeping out the materials that make the shoes and things are not quality no more, you know?
Yeah. So that's going back into the system of the MOTB, the infrastructure being built. So hopefully I'm going to do a video on that, and that's all part of the end times situation as well.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be pushing, going into next year.
It's crazy though, because we learned this year 1, year 2, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, all cycles. Just, so all you need to do is plant more trees. Or basic things like that. That's such an issue, but
it's not enough.
Yeah, even if you understand the carbon cycle, it's even down to like the sea absorbs CO2. So if there's too much CO2 in the air, the sea will absorb CO2 and deposit it as sandstone and things like that, and rock. There's so many. The carbon cycle is the Lord created so many different ways for it to balance itself. But Esau is using an excuse. He's using false science, and ignorance that most people have. And then they push it to the children in the schools. The carbon dioxide, global warming and all this bullshit.
Like Greta.
Gave up Greta Thunberg like out there doing madness, some autistic kid talking about saving the planet. Esau, the planet will never need saving because no man can destroy the planet. Who are you? You can't destroy this planet, man. All right, go on now.
Yeah, back in 2 Corinthians 16, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their husbands be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. These things are understanding ye servants of the Lord.
That happens in war, man. War, man, go out there, rat-a-tat-tat, and get cut off from logistical lines and starve to death. All you got to do is go research war. Like, war doesn't change. One of the main reasons people die in war is not even the sword. Man's dying in war from famine and disease. That's a fact. An army marches on his stomach. You cut an army off from a source of food and logistics, they're fucked. Because contrary to popular belief, it's not that easy to just live off the land. That's why people started farming. You know what I mean? It's not that easy to do. Let's say you're in the middle of winter. Okay, great, live off the land. Start picking pine needles off the ground. It don't work like that. Life doesn't work that way. That's why people farm. Otherwise, no one would farm. You could just walk around picking apples. It doesn't work like that.
What comes to mind? John the Baptist. Yeah, that was a mean diet to be on.
Yeah, and he was in a particular place to be able to do that. But that was John.
That's it.
If you got an army of 100,000 men in the same place, them locusts ain't going all the way around, or their honey ain't going all the way around. So this is where famine comes into it. So that happened in World War II all the time. If you cut off the logistics of their food and they exhaust all the food in the village, where's the food? They come through. I mean, so we ain't got none. They know they got a little bit left, but they need it for them. And then they shoot, man, give me the food. But once you eat that village's food, it's not an unlimited source of food. So all the villages now you relying on the logistics your own army to bring in food. But what happened if they can't? And that happened to the Germans. That's one of the ways the Germans lost the war. They started to cut off the logistical lines of resupply to the German army, and they starved. Same thing with in Russia. What they did was they would burn as they were retreating into Russia. They burned the food. So the German army, which was superior, would chase them deeper into Russia. But as you're chasing them deeper into Russia, you're getting further away from your logistical lines. So really, what you would do then is rely on food that you're capturing. So they were like, okay, so when we leave this village, we're burning all the food, and they will move deeper into Russia. So they followed them into Russia, and many of the Germans died through famine. Why? Because food. So when we're reading this, if you go into history, it can give you an idea. Yeah, this is what happened. So you're looking at World War II. This is going to happen again.
I must read this precept, man. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 15 and 2. It says, "And it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And I'll cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, to that which he did in Jerusalem."
You got all these animals, the dog lovers. Ain't nothing against dogs. I'm not really I'm one of them people that love animals, but I don't care about animals to the degree. But if I have one, I kind of care. I kind of care, but if you ask me if I wanted one, I'll be like, no, I'm not bothered, man. I got kids, man. That's enough for me. But you got all these people that's got like these Rottweilers and all these different things, yeah. They gotta eat too. And just like people, if they get hungry, it could get real messy out here. Especially the Lord start putting spirits on them. You know what I mean? So you gotta put that into context. You're gonna have packs of dogs going back to their hunter killer nature, man, running around the cities looking, and once they get a taste for that long pig, you know what I mean? Once they get a taste for that sweet hot diabetes blood, it's got that diabetes blood hella sweet, man. You know what I mean? Then it's a wrap. They get bloodthirsty.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they say you're not yourself when you're hungry, man. You know what I'm saying? So
grab the Snickers.
You're gonna find them even.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a problem to the elect, because we've seen Daniel in the lions. That's how they got the lions to be ferocious. Because a hungry lion is an angry lion. A lion that's isn't a problem to you, because lions are not really like people. They're not murderous. They eat when they're hungry. So you can buck up upon a lion, and it's just a full thing. He's just gonna look at you and be like,
you're not a threat. So
But if the lion is hungry and desperate, you might have to
bust a move.
to bust a move.
It's like, it wasn't the menu today.
But that's why when they had a lions, then before they execute someone, they would starve the lions for a period of time. So by the time they dash you in there, them man are looking at you like KFC. You know what I mean? Like some nice succulent deep fried chicken, bro, juicy with the dips. You know what I mean? Yeah, but again, what we've seen is that the Lord, we have all these instances to show that the Lord can deliver us out of all these circumstances, because even from the wild beast that's hungered, the Lord can pacify that wild beast. Daniel in the lion's den, pacify fire, pacify, provide man with food, water, bread, manna from heaven. So we've seen the Lord deliver a man from everything, the sword. Even chariot, David got delivered by chariots, and chariot dropped hot lightning bolts on Hamites. So everything we're looking for, it's not even like it's never happened before. It's record. That's why the scripture says faith comes through the hearing of the word. because the Lord has done so many great things that's recorded in the scriptures. Like, okay, so you already know that the Lord can deliver us from all these things.
It's from Job chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. But thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah. I mean, if the Obia man can get away with it, then why can't we? Yeah, because you see them man get the them man like you see them man like get the
necklace
get the necklace and that and just start going to war naked, blood, and bullets are bouncing off, man, and all that. Real talk. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. The judge, like them, that's how you get them. The man, they go to the Obia man, get iled on, and then the police will come and try and lick off shot and see all 3 of them. You get me? Like, yo, like you see, man, and that's why them man go back. They keep going back to the Obia man because they do escape death a lot of the times until they don't. Until the Lord, cut that witchcraft off. But my point is that if even man on the left hand side can be delivered from death, how much more the man them that's on the right hand side? Because our thing don't get cut off like T-Mobile. See how that man thing get cut off, like, just no reception. Just one day they get no reception. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, that's a real thing, man. That's why them man love to go get their guard ring and get the protection.
But that's it. In that day, the Most High gonna just know all these contracts you got with these demons, man. And they're gonna find they ain't gonna be helping.
There ain't no guard ring gonna help you with them missiles and that.
Focus and attention is gonna be on the men of the Lord to protect them.
Yeah. We got the guard of Yahweh Shai, man.
Yeah.
That's what we're just reading about.
Yeah.
Go on up.
That's it. Really.
Go on. All right, let's finish up Jeremiah 16 because we're almost at the point.
Jeremiah 16 and 4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried. But they shall be as dung upon the earth, upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven.
And that's actually a shame, That's a shame for a man's body to be devoured like
birds.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's why the Lord actually did that judgment on I think it was one of the women, wicked women in Israel. She got killed. I think the prophet said the dogs are gonna devour your flesh. I'm trying to remember her name. And she was wicked. She was a wicked
thingy. What's her name? Not Delilah.
I want to say Jezebel, but
that's what I think it is.
I want to say Jezebel, but I don't want to be wrong because them man on the comment board, them scoffers will just be ready with the algorithm, and they'll be like, see, GMS ain't got the 100% truth.
No, Jezebel,
Jezebel. So GMS was right again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a shame when you're getting devoured by animal. You're just dead there, all unceremonious, without honor, and a dog just come and start namming off your nose bridge, nam out your eyeball. That's without honor, man. You just like they say it dead like dog.
That's true.
You just dead like a dog, man.
Died like a dog in the street, man.
It's getting torn apart.
Maybe not a Western dog. Yeah. On the islands, man don't care about dog like that. Dog just dead.
Roadkill.
That's it, like a roadkill. Unceremonious, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
When you have other men that were basically beamed up in chariots, man, you have them, their place wasn't found, or they'll put in sepulchres and they're renowned until this day,
Yeah, she got nyam up by dogs, but so they found her. Just go mash up. You can't even identify it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that's what's going to happen on unceremonious dispatches, man. Lacking in honor.
Oh no.
I got a precept now. I'll finish it.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 21, 9 and 10. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished.
Mm.
It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
Yeah, go on, keep reading.
And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it unto the hand of the slayer. Crying how, son of man.
Right, the hand of the slayer. That's Esau, Edom, and his power structure, man. And they're gonna show you Jake here across the board, because you, Jake, want to play political games. Oh well, you know, the Democrats, you know, they love black people and Trump hates black. Listen, it don't matter whether it's Trump, Biden. These Edomites are gonna show you the hatred they truly have for you. They despise you. Especially when all hell breaks loose and there's chaos, the number one person that they're going to look to blame for all of this is you, Jakes, across the board. You can already see it happen. Here in the UK, a Jake do something, and you're going to get John from accounting, Sally, they all line up on Twitter comment board under the anonymity of Twitter to talk shit about, oh yeah, see, the immigrants are these blacks, they're no good. They're the reason, they're uncivilized. They're the reason why. Really, if you ask Esau, the reason this system is falling apart, it's not because of the management, you know.
Never.
You know, it wouldn't be. They're only accountable when it's good.
Yeah.
Then they could get the praise, right? If you ask Esau, they'll tell you, well, it's going apart because of Jake. Jake and the other nations are the problem with the world. That's the prevailing energy that's being pushed out there in the world. And then they highlight every time you, Jake, do some stupid shit and put it on camera, and they highlight that as, see, this nigga did this, he did a shootout, or this black woman did this, and they use that to try and justify their foolishness.
Yep.
And they're really gonna justify into you know, slaughtering you Jakes, man. You know, you Jakes are the face of crime. Whether you like it or not, you're the face of violent crime.
Yep.
You're the threat. You're the monster in the night, according to Esau's popular media and how you even portray yourself, because your most popular form of media is all about how much of a violent threat you are.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying that every Jake represents. I know it's BS, but that's just what it is. If you're an alien from another planet and all you did was watch TV and you went on social media, you would single in on, yeah, these people are a violent bunch of gangsters. They're always flashing guns and doing madness on social media and telling everyone, just listen to the lyrics, and the lyrics will tell you that they're the baddest man. Beer, shatter fire, and all them something there. You know what I mean? Everybody for dead. So the marketing of Jake, even the way they market themselves and all that, is as this beast, this untamed beast that needs to be tamed, and the government isn't doing enough to contain them.
Yep. Yeah, you know what's crazy as well? Because even now when you deal with it, AI is feeding from the internet.
Yeah.
So this pool of knowledge is going to be everything that's been perpetuated. So now it's going to be automated.
Yes,
okay, these are the niggas.
These are the
people. They're the threat.
Even their children.
And what's funny as well, because I heard it recently, now they're moving towards, I forgot, somewhere in the UK or in London, they're moving toward implementing Australian technology of noticing people when they're drunk driving. So they're going to have AI technology basically work out if you're drunk driving and instantly give you a ticket.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So this is moving more to automation. Now they're
driving while black.
So it's the kind of shit
and this is why we need the driverless cars. You know, all plays into itself. You know, what you saw doing, man.
Yeah. So hey, the time is coming. We can see it. You know that it's being set up. It's being seasoned and set up perfectly for that time. In fact, you know, let's finish up on, because it's about to finish up on Daniel's Oh man. 12th chapter. Yeah, the time of, yeah.
So Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
There you go. And that time is coming. Now, it could be 2025, and we hope it's 2025. But at the end of the day, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. And 2025 could very well be the year, man, of the coming of our Lord. And if that's the case, then all these things are going to have to come before the Lord comes back. So it's going to get sticky out here. But the only deliverance, we don't bring this out, everybody's condemned. No, there is a deliverance. There is a side door, which is Yahweh Shai. If you're an Israelite and if you're of the elect, man, if you take heed unto this word and seek unto Yahweh Shai and you repent, then you can be delivered from these things that are coming down the pipeline. Hey, brother, got anything you want to close up on?
Yeah, man, you know, as always, man, wait eagerly to the beginning of, well, it's done now. Yeah, midnight now, right? 2025, you know, a lot of things are going to happen. John's going to get put back in, and we're going to see what these are going to tell him to do this year, you know, and, you know, subsequently, you know, we just could wait and see, man. But the MOTB is really a bigger thing, even bigger thing than it is or has been previously, because it's being spoken about more and more as years go by. It's not got fire. And it's so bad now. Like Nate has to double back on things he said back in the past about the MOTB. He's having to address it more and more because his congregation are inquiring people, right? They want answers.
Inquiring minds,
exactly. So he's getting a bit under pressure. So he's got to spin new stories, and that'll be interesting to see what more, you know, what new stories going to spin. as you
just tell the truth, and it's easy. It's easier to tell the truth. Lying is hard, man. It's hard work. Just tell the truth and everything comes easy. It's simple.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, hey, about the ball, you know.
About the ball.
It's getting closer, brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're getting close now. You know what I mean? We're going this year, man. We're going to see what title, what the name of the year is going to be. You know, what's the heart. But nobody, man. Hey, nobody like this shit, man. Nobody, man. You know, we wait to see it. You know.
Lord willing, man, because this place is hell. You delivered into the kingdom, man. Damn.
Well,
all right. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah.